Three conversations. Well, I guess we should say three important conversations. There are many conversations you should have with your spouse before you get to retirement and before you turn 65. But when it comes to the planning process, there was this article, Abe, talking about these three specific conversations. And I have to imagine it's because conversations that aren't had. They're not being done to the level that they should be done before you get to retirement. Have you discussed these things with your spouse? So that's what we want to talk about here on the podcast today. This is Abe
Sure.
Abich, financial advisor, founder of Abich Financial Services. I'm Heather Branch, here to ask Abe about the questions you should be asking when it comes to retirement, not just of your financial advisor, but of your spouse and of yourself as well. TheRetirementKey.com is where you can start the conversation with Abe and his team. By the way, Abe, who works with his wife every single day, he's very well versed on navigating the space of spousal conversations. You and Shelley do a great job, Abe, but you do. You get it.
Constant compromise. You married couples know that's constant compromise.
That's absolutely correct. But when it comes to retirement, what you don't want to do is have to compromise on things simply because they weren't discussed in a proper amount of time.
Sure.
So, and of course, retiring as a couple, it comes with its own benefits. You got shared goals. You have double the savings power, hopefully. Somebody, of course, to live these years with. But double the people, it very often means double the opinions. So this article came from USA Today. 3 retirement conversations married couples should have before turning age 65. Let's talk about what these are and what you believe people need to know about these conversations and accomplishing through this conversational space.
Yeah, expectations, it's so important. I was having a review call with a client recently. Husband and wife were on the phone, and the husband was like, I thought we already talked about this. We were going to, invest some money in a home and estate, and the wife didn't remember. And the husband's like, honey, I thought we talked about this. So, constant clear communication is key always. And you obviously always want to be on the same page. So, 3 questions from this article. What does our ideal day-to-day retirement look like? So important. So I'm just going to read some of the bullet points because they're really important. You don't want to make any assumptions about what the other person wants. You want to throw it all on the table. Mutual interests and hobbies do not guarantee an aligned retirement vision.
Right.
So oftentimes what we'll see is, clients start to work part-time, maybe both husband and wife start to work part-time, or one fully retires and others part-time. They'll kind of start to get used to this new lifestyle.
Okay.
Start to get used to this new phase of their life by easing into retirement.
Sure.
Very common thing. A lot of people just retire cold turkey and never work again, but a lot of people will do something. So don't make any assumptions. Mutual interests and hobbies don't guarantee an aligned retirement vision. Where do you both want to live? Some examples. Do you want to stay in your family home? Do you want to downsize? Move to a new state, maybe a new country? We have clients that live all over the place. Are you both content?
But your spouse needs to know about that.
Absolutely. You got to talk about these things. Yeah. And you might find out you might not be on the same page, right? So you got to compromise. Are you both content with a low-key retirement, or does one of you have the travel bug? Do both of you have the travel bug? This exercise can help align different visions and prevent future conflict.
Yeah.
So you want to, we talk about this a lot on our show and podcast, that retirement lifestyle, the lifestyle plan in combination with the retirement plan is just as important, because
what are you retiring to, not just
what's going to fulfill you, occupy your time. And I ask that when people come in for their first meeting. What are you going to do with your time? What are your hobbies and interests? What do you want to do? Because a lot of people haven't had all this free time to use.
Yeah.
Number 2, how will all the numbers add up for our shared vision? Now that you've figured out what you both want, or what you want in retirement, you need to discuss how much you've saved and how much you'll need to support you. We just did that today with another couple, and it was like $16,000 to $17,000 a month net in their bank account that they want to live a comfortable, happy retirement. They want to do a lot of traveling, and $16,000 to $17,000 a month is a good chunk.
Yeah. And
some people need less, some people need more. But it's what they needed, and they were both in agreement as to the amount. So that was a good thing. Social Security, when are we going to take that? Do we take both at the same time? Do we take one now, maybe defer to larger benefit? Pensions, we taking single life, joint life? Pensions and other income can obviously help chip away at the net income number you need in your bank account,
Okay.
but may not cover everything. So if it doesn't cover everything and you need to tap into your life savings for the first time in your life, how are we going to do that? Which accounts are we going to tap? What percentage of the accounts are we going to take out every year? Is legacy important? And we always ask that. That
Mhm.
same couple that we were talking to about that net $16,000 to $17,000 number,
Yeah.
I asked how important legacy is. The husband says, whatever's left is left. Whatever's left is fine. When the wife said, no, I really want to pass on money to the kids and the grandkids.
Okay.
And I said, well, we can help you accomplish both, right? You want to be able to spend and enjoy, but you also, it looks like, want to pass some money on too.
Okay.
So you want to see how your Social Security, pensions, annuities, stock portfolio income can all be put together
Yeah.
to get to that income goal that you have.
Got it.
And how you might need your savings to tap into income to fill any gaps.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a budget? Like, do you really know what you need and what you're spending? Do you have an income strategy? And do you have a long-term growth strategy?
Yeah.
How will all those numbers add up into a consolidated, comprehensive plan that's understandable and that you can follow, measure, and track? And then finally in the article, a lot of people don't realize this until they're actually right there at Medicare time, is what is the healthcare plan? So this same couple I was just talking about, the husband, I believe, has had some cancer history. So he's
Mhm.
concerned about making sure that his wife is taken care of. He's around 64. She's around 62. He wants to make sure that she's taken care of. Already had some cancer history. Men
Mhm.
live less than women do. So he
Yep,
already
definitely.
knows he probably won't live as long as his wife, wants to make sure
Yeah.
she's taken care of.
Yeah.
But then healthcare is right around the corner for them. He's signing up for Medicare, realizing how much it costs, also realizing they have so much money that Medicaid won't help them down the road if a long-term care event happens,
Hmm.
so that they're gonna have to self-insure. Now they have a few $1 million now,
Okay.
and they probably will have much more than a few million down the road. But these are all part of that conversation we had, the first
Yeah.
meeting with this couple.
Yeah.
Healthcare expenses and that conversation is not fun to talk about,
No.
but very important
Very necessary.
to make sure you know what to expect, because when you're working, you were covered, right? Now you got
Mhm.
to pay for some of it. And if you have a long-term care event, that's not covered by really anything, unless it's Medicaid. And, you have to have hardly anything to your name to be,
Right.
on Medicaid.
Most people you work with don't qualify for
Yeah.
Medicaid. Yeah.
Medicare doesn't pay for long-term care. So you got to buy insurance or pay for it yourself,
Okay.
or both. In 2024, a 65-year-old faces roughly $165,000 in medical expenses over their retirement. If you're married, you're talking about $320,000 to $350,000 over a lifetime for a couple today in 2025.
And I don't think that
Imagine.
number covers long-term care. I think that that's just general medical expenses. I could be wrong.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. The excess medical expenses that are not covered by your health insurance and things like that.
Yeah.
So really important things. What does your ideal day-to-day look like? How will all the numbers add up? Have you planned for healthcare? And there's obviously much more when it comes to making sure couples are on the same page and in alignment before they retire. But hopefully those 3 points and discussion today has been helpful.
Yeah. And good news for you is that if you realize you need to have discussions with your spouse about the plan for the years ahead, you don't have to do it by yourself. Abe and his team having these conversations with couples every single day. They can also point out to you the questions you didn't even know you needed to ask each other and discuss. This is the point of having help along the way, the kind of help that Abe and his team are ready to offer you. TheRetirementKey.com is where you can go to start the conversation with Abe and his team. Let's get to work, making sure that you and your spouse are aligned for retirement and a plan that's going to help you both achieve the goals that you have for the years ahead. We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there. Find us anytime. TheRetirementKey.com.